to the Dog Chug. Roger asked just before we went live. We're not live yet, are we? Wow. Nice attire, Roger. You're going to piss off a lot of people.
This is for Ed in Columbus tonight. I figured he'd be dressed like a coach, so I joined him. But I'm going to represent the Maize and Blue tonight and DPJ.
Nice. Well, you look great. It's awesome that you still support this awful team of yours. That you're gonna watch them get their ass kicked again. That's
We'll get into that. You know what? At least we might have a shot. We're playing. They're a pretty good team this year, so we'll see.
You're playing a good team. You mean
I would have rather played them in week one. The Buckeyes in week one than now, and it's always like that with them. They once they get rolling, I can't deny that. But,
all right, well,
but we're going for the upset. We're going for the upset Saturday.
Noticeable problems with this guy. We still haven't quite worked out our differences yet, but let's see what he has to say.
All right.
Oh,
welcome
hey!
First, Ed, I have to ask, how do you do it? The endurance to be on multiple podcasts in an evening, it's just amazing. Caught you
Mr. Popular.
On the Barking Browns disrespecting the Dog Chug once again.
I'm a professional, Andy, and I can handle both assignments and do it and give 100%, just like Ohio State will give 100%, maybe hang 100 on the Wolverines this Saturday in Ann Arbor, and Ann Arbor is still a whore.
Wow. 100 points there, Andy Roger. What do you have to say to that?
I'm distracted by that thing on his head. I missed everything he said. But that god awful. You know what? That guy looks like he drives around in a panel van. He's the creepiest mascot in college football, giving out candy.
You know what? You can bash Ohio State, but you don't bash Brutus there. Who's your mascot? I think it has to start with an L or something. A liger maybe, or because a Wolverine would be something ferocious. Might actually win some games. Something you guys haven't been able to do in a while. And how many national titles do you have? Oh, that's right, not many.
In his defense, in Rogers' defense, his team is having a good season this year,
but not a great season.
Well, aren't our records the same?
Well, I already count Michigan as a win, so they're going to be 10-2. So I don't.
All right. Well, hold on. We'll go back to this rivalry between you two instead of between me and Ed, as it usually is, because Roger, I think you want to have a special friend on. This is your cousin.
This is my brother-in-law, Gene. He lives in Michigan. He's married to my wife's sister.
Oh, nice. Shows how much I pay attention. All right, so let's bring on the great Gene.
There he is.
How you doing? What's up, guys?
Wow.
Gene, how are you?
I'm good. How you boys doing tonight?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Is it hard to wear that hat these days?
I mean, I'm a little bit dead inside. I'm kind of emotionally just numb, so it's just colors to me at this point.
Keep wearing it. Obviously, the Browns had their own little 1-31 experience. I still try to wear my Browns apparel all the time, and eventually it will turn around.
I'm never going to go away from it. I don't have a good team or franchise in my city at the time, so Red Wings, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, you name it. There's just not much going on right now.
But you hang in there. You don't, people, I'm a fan of this, and it's the NBA style fandom now, and people jumping wherever they're going or whoever's winning. And it takes heart to be a Lions fan, a Browns fan, a Michigan fan, an Indians fan, sometimes with the Tigers. It takes heart to stick in there. We take a beating.
It takes a lot of heart to be a Michigan fan, doesn't it, Roger?
I'm more of a homer than this guy, and he lives in the state of Michigan, and he just shakes his head at me because I asked for the trouble. He said, "You just bring it on yourself."
Roger back to reality every once in a while. That's for sure.
Yeah, he does.
So, did you attend the game, the miserable game that I think everyone didn't like last week?
Last week, the Browns and Lions.
Yes,
I was there. I was in attendance. That was a birthday present for my wife, who's a diehard Browns fan. And I was happy to attend because I've actually grown accustomed to cheering for the Browns over the years with my wife, because what the hell do I have to cheer for? And ultimately, you know, as an NFC Lions fan, I've kind of taken to the Browns as my AFC squad. So I've enjoyed. Oh, is he showing the picture right now? Yeah, there.
Yeah, let's get that up a little bigger.
Yeah, I donned the paper bag on my head for you know, a good portion of the pregame, and then some of the game we're sitting in the opposite dog pound end zone and having a good time. But man, we had a hell of a time. It was a great day. The weather wasn't too bad, but I just that was my first time. That was my first Browns game, actually. So I wanted the Browns to win as a Lions fan that wants a high draft pick, and I'm kind of just like against everything that's going on in my franchise at the moment. I actually want to see the Browns kind of make a push this year. So I did not want the Lions to get some kind of cheap win on Sunday. So I was glad to see what happened.
Well, I don't know if it was a cheap win. It was one of the most miserable wins I've ever sat through.
It was a miserable win, but I'm saying, like, how much worse would it have been if the Lions actually snuck one out there for the Browns? You know, like, you're still in contention. That whole division is still within one game of each other. Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. You guys are all right there right now, so it's fun.
Right there.
Yeah, it's
Close
still
race.
fun. How did like in your section, Browns fans treat you there at First Energy? Anybody give you like a real hard time, or are they mostly cool?
Honestly, I think they all know that we're all the same. I've even some people at the game even said, you know, we were you are us. Like, I mean, what the Browns are the Lions are the Browns. Einhorn is Finkel is Einhorn. It's all the same. I mean, we've all gone through it. Wearing the paper bag at the game is almost the same as seeing the guy in the Browns jersey that's got 15 quarterbacks on the back of the shirt. So it's
right, 28, I think it was.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I didn't have any. There was absolutely no hostile fans towards me. Everybody, they all thought it was a good gag. I had a bunch of people wanted to take photos with me and stuff when I was down in the bag, and
that's cool, man.
You know, we're no division rival or anything. Nobody's threatened by the Lions in Cleveland. So, I mean, I don't think, you know, I don't even remember the guy's name that we had starting at quarterback that week or last week. But it was just ridiculous. But, I mean, we had such a good time. Everybody in the section was amazing, man. I had a blast. I was cheering with them.
Cool.
They thought it was funny knowing that I was trying to get a draft pick out of the Lions, so I didn't even want them to win the damn game. But it was I made a lot of good friends that day.
Well, we do want to say thank you for coming up with the tie against the Steelers. To be honest, I think a tie was better than if you had beaten them, because it was more hilarious for them to tie. I had actually talked a little bit of smack before that game that said you're going to lose to the Lions, or you're not going to be able to beat the Lions. And man, the Steelers came after me, and they didn't say anything after that tie. So that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude, we played them hard. We tied the shit out of them, didn't we?
But you played Baltimore tough too, and it was
Yeah,
it took a record-breaking field goal to beat the Lions that day, didn't it?
Right. He kicked us 88 yards.
You know what? My biggest disappointment of Sunday, though, as a Lions fan, but like I said, I've really grown accustomed to these Browns, the Browns team, and cheering for the Browns every week. They were flashing the Ravens score all game, and we were cheering in the stadium, and everybody was having a good time. And then I found out afterwards that the freaking Ravens came back and won. I was disappointed, man. I wanted that. I wanted that Ravens loss.
Yeah, so did we.
So what
we got to face
7-3 or something.
Yeah, we faced them 2 times. We play them Sunday, a bye, and we play them the following Sunday. We got them back to back with a bye in between.
So I know I came on to talk about Lions football, but can we talk about Baker Mayfield real quick? What do you guys? What do you guys think about Baker and his injury situation? Personally, I think they should have started Case Keenum on Sunday, because he would have been able to beat the Lions, and you would have been able to give Baker a whole nother extra week of rest.
That's the sentiment here. Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I think we're all in agreement on that. I think we're all wondering what the hell our coaching staff is doing. They're not really giving us any answers that make sense. So I don't know what the situation is. Something smells rotten in Denmark, as they say.
That seems as basic, like that seems as easy of a decision as you would think, even if even if Baker's banged up, I think you could win with either. You could win with a banged up Baker Mayfield, or you could probably win with a banged up Case Keenum. I don't know why the hell they didn't play him on Sunday.
Yeah, it was a little staggering. I don't think Coach is going to be winning Coach of the Year this season.
No,
I'm still optimistic though. You never know. Teams can get hot.
Yeah,
the Browns turn it around. They have so much capability. It's just they haven't really put together 4 good quarters yet this season.
One time against Cincinnati,
against the Bengals. Yeah, they destroyed the Bengals.
And we all thought that was a turning point. And all right, here we go. And then we faced Hoodie. We got to go play Belichick, and so we're lucky that we got out of there with a tie. To be honest with you, I think if Jared Goff played, we lose that game. And Jared Goff ain't that good. You know what I mean? That poor kid was in over his head.
So
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, well, Roger, I was at your house on what was it, Friday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday afternoon. You were telling me that you actually think Dan Campbell's a good coach. Is that right?
Really?
No. It wasn't Andy.
No, I thought.
No,
you were telling me.
Oh, me.
The Lions have a good coach.
I just like his old school mentality. I don't hear much about. I just like little things that I read and hear, and I think the Lions are playing pretty good despite their record. From what I've.
Roger was at tailgating on Sunday, so I think he must have been very drunk to have had that opinion.
Well, I mean, I think Dan Campbell's a 1990s WWF wrestler. He
doesn't do NFL. I think it's very clear.
He took the play calling away from Anthony Lynn, who's way more qualified. We're talking about a guy that was a tight end in the NFL, and I think he was a tight ends coach in Miami, who was an interim coach for a little bit. And by all means, I hope he succeeds, but I think he's a little in over his head, and he's getting a little big for his britches when he's taking the play calling away from your offensive coordinator, and you don't have any qualifications.
Yeah,
but that's just a Lions fan talking. I don't know.
You know more than we know.
Yeah, I'd rather talk Browns, honestly. I love the Browns.
Well, to be honest, you probably know more about the Browns than we do. We're not very good. Let's move
that's
it
why
along.
that's why we do the skits that we do and the things we do, because we would not succeed as an actual podcast talking Browns football. I'm too much of a homer.
Yeah, we're both.
Yes, you
homers.
are.
You're also a Michigan fan, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're also a Michigan fan?
Unfortunately, I grew up about 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, so I did grow up a Michigan fan. I do love Michigan, but if we're about to talk about Michigan and Ohio State, it's going to take a lot out of me. So let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We're going to bring Ed on for this.
Bring the Buckeye on.
All right.
We all wanted to talk a little bit about why we think our team is going to win. We've got 2 Ohio State fans and 2 Michigan fans. So, Ed, why don't you start us off? And try and keep it under 1,000 words.
Ed, this is my brother-in-law, Gene. Gene is my buddy Ed in Columbus.
Nice hat. I love it.
Thank you. And also, too, I got a question. Do you know what color blue that is for the Detroit Lions?
Honolulu blue.
You are a true fan. Absolutely correct, my man. And I used to live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Michigan is a great state. I know when it comes to football, we can't say that, but I got nothing bad to say about the people of Michigan. Great people. But the reason why the Ohio State University will defeat the Wolverines in Ann Arbor this Saturday is because that's what they do. It's like the 1990s when I was heartbroken many times with Tim Biaka-Patuka running for 308 yards. We were upset with Ty Streets when he ran all over a guy when our guy fell down. It's the same reason why. I don't really know why. We're just going to win because that's what we do. We are the Ohio State University, and we are going to beat Michigan.
And proving why we're not pretty good, because when we get asked a question, we just say, I don't know. But Gene, why don't you tell us why you think?
As a Michigan fan, do I have to talk about how I think Michigan's going to win, or can I give my real opinion?
You just give your honest opinion.
Give your honest opinion.
Yeah, Roger may not like this, but I think Michigan's going to get boat raced. It's going to be bad. It's going to be honestly, I'm hoping that it's not going to be a 21-0 situation in 8 minutes into the game, but I do think that there is a shadow of a hope where Michigan can pull this off. If Michigan can average like 3.5 to 4 yards per carry with the running game, establish a running game, take time off the clock, if they can eliminate some of those big plays from Ohio State receivers, I think there's a glimmer of hope, but we're going to have to keep Ohio State around 30 points. If it gets above 35 to 40 points, Michigan's toast.
Yeah.
If it's a high-scoring game, Michigan's not going to hang.
Yeah.
It's the fact.
All right. You got that great analysis. You should really be on the Barking Browns instead of the Dog Jug because that was too good of an answer for us. But
it was way too good. Yeah. OBR.
Yeah, he was actually talking football. I didn't understand
Right.
a damn word he said.
I know. OBR is going to take them.
Yeah. I'm going to say that while Michigan is having a nice season, they're a great Big Ten team and really not in the Buckeyes league. Also, I'm pretty sure the last time Michigan won against the Buckeyes, there were a couple players on both teams that weren't even born yet. So
that's true.
All he knows is losing. So anyway, Roger, why don't you end this terrible segment? Let's go.
I'm the constant, I'm the homer. I always think my team's going to win. And the reason is, why even follow sports? You know what I mean? For me, it's like we're going to win every game. The teams that I back against impossible odds. But the reality is, and Gene knows a lot more about Michigan football than I do. And what he was talking about with me Saturday and is Harbaugh's use of the quarterbacks. And he's afraid he's got a quarterback that's playing good, and he's going to put the young kid in there so he don't leave, and hit the transfer portal because he's not playing. And, Gene pointed that out and thought about it. And we both thought when Harbaugh got to Michigan that this is it. He's going to knock on a recruit's door, walk in and say, I coached in the Super Bowl, I coached Andrew Luck, and they're going to beg him to take their kid to, with them. And that didn't happen. And it's because Harbaugh runs this antiquated offense, and he won't come off of it. I think the only way that Michigan really succeeds and wins is if they drive a Brinks truck up to Luke Fickell's door, and we're going to talk to Ross, the University of Cincinnati grad, and dumps a Brinks truck full of money on Luke Fickell's front doorstep and brings them into the Big Ten. And then Ohio State's going to be in trouble. Then the Buckeyes going to have something to deal with.
Yeah, then watch out.
All right. Well, I'm not really detecting the most confident bunch of Michigan fans here, but hey, we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. And I'm really, really excited to watch the game.
You're going to bring in the Bearcat?
Yes. Let's see what our good friend Ross, what he thinks.
Don't even talk about Big Dick Fick trying to go to Michigan. We're not even gonna say those words right now. So
we're gonna steal him like you did our Christmas
keep
cookies.
This under 30 seconds for you guys. Me bitching about college football. I don't talk about college football too much on here. Cincinnati's ranked 4, but you guys all know there's
Ross. We don't know anything about NFL.
I know, right? Anyways, our last loss was to Georgia, the number 1 team in the country. You lost by a field goal. You move that loss up 10 months, and apparently that qualifies you to be in the top 3. You need to have a loss against a top 5 team. So give us a loss against a good team. We jump up in the rankings, and we're in the playoffs. But sorry we don't have a loss. I'm excited for your guys' 1-loss matchup you guys have coming up. It's going to be exciting. Not as exciting as 2 undefeated teams playing each other, but you know what? That's what the college football committee wants. They want a bunch of 1-loss teams fighting each other and getting a 3rd chance in the playoffs. That's all I got.
Hey, I'm going to defend Ohio State and Michigan. At least we have mascots that are real. A Bearcat's not even a real thing. So
it's like a liger.
Eyeballs in a mouth is real. Are you kidding me?
A Buckeye.
This is a poisonous nut. Don't eat this poisonous nut.
Half bear, half cat. Okay?
Nut. This is a nut. A poisonous nut.
This is the Browns podcast. Let's move on.
Let's move on. So, Gene, I think you just wanted to go. You were awesome tonight. I hope you can come back on again. We're going to have a lot of nonsense going on this off season. So hopefully you can come on and have some fun with us because you were great.
Come and talk some football. Yeah. We'll have somebody that comes on that knows about football. Come in and be our correspondent.
If Michigan somehow wins on Saturday, feel free to have me back. I'll be back. All right.
Hey, you were awesome, my man.
See you guys.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, Gene.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming by.
Okay. We are way behind schedule, which I love. We just got Mick on.
What's new?
He's in the room, so he can come on in a little bit. But before that, we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. Oh no, we wanted to do your little slideshow, Ross. So Ross prepared something. So, Ross, why don't you hit it? Everyone's been asking about the fire ed movement. I got a lot of I don't think people properly understand it. So Ross is here to explain it for everyone. And let's see here. I gotta add this thing. Sorry.
All right, you good?
Okay. Yes. So Ross, take it away.
All right. So everybody knows last week the free ed movement that we all heard about and Ed won't shut up about started. So I'm going to go through some tweets that happened this week, free ed versus fire ed, see how well it went. Each movement has their own following. So it all started with this one from Kelly. She leaked the big free ed movement video. Listen, watch the latest episodes of Barking Brown Show and the Dog Chug tonight to see what happens. And then Ed tries to make it look like we're not giving him the love he deserves. Get 17 likes, a few people retweet it, whatever. And then, you got Ed, he starts tweeting about the free ed movement, of course, because, it's his agenda. Is it too late now to say sorry? Got to check out the Dog Chug to find out the latest in free ed drama. That got 10 likes. So we're going to move on to a couple more. Then we got Troy, our good friend Troy out there, trying to spread fake news, saying that there's gatherings all over the country for free ed. Free ed movement rolls on. After the success of yesterday in downtown Cleveland, there's even more success at this beach today. So you got a bunch of people gathering at a beach for the free ed movement, but somehow there's only 8 likes. Kind of suspicious. Huge free ed rally today. Where's this one? I don't even know what city this is. Oh, that's DC, I think, of course. Because it's fake news. That's where it all is. Then you got thousands and thousands of people. 8 likes. Kind of fishy. There goes Troy again. He's looks like they tried to have a gathering. Free ed movement took a turn today. They tried to stage a fake rally by offering free socks and chugs, but the movement stuffed it. Well, look at that. 7 likes. He's maintaining his like amount regardless of what's going on. And then, of course, there was a gathering in Cleveland. That reminds me a lot of the Cavaliers parade, but,
It looks familiar.
It looks somewhat familiar.
Coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. I got 10 likes. All right, now we're going to go on to the free ed or crazy free ed gathering in a McDonald's drive-thru. Oh, wait, it's just Ed taking 20 minutes to order fucking chicken McNuggets. Free Dog Chug.
It was 22 minutes. It was 22 minutes, and I'm sorry.
And you know what? It's not a gathering. Sorry, you were just holding up the line. So here's where the fire ed movement really gained some momentum. I just want to show everyone that the fire ed movement has a lot more going for it than the free ed movement. So fire ed is simple. Browns need to win and are getting one this afternoon. It's just me and Andy, and it got 83 likes. I mean, that's 8 times the amount any fire ed tweet got. Then you got this next one. Saw Ed in Columbus was selling these shirts. Ridiculous. Fire ed. Dog Chug started it. I can't believe you're trying to sell these shirts, Ed. It's insane. It's disrespectful.
Look, my kid's into Christmas, man. My kid's into Christmas.
Oh, okay. I mean, we're still paying you, and you're still disrespecting us. You're still collecting a paycheck, so don't use that excuse anymore. 16 likes. I mean, and then I did some investigating, and I was looking at the likes of the fire ed movement. It was just all the same people over and over. You got Mike in the 330. You got Jacob Roach, the cockroach.
That's a good dude. That's a good dude.
He is a good dude, but I mean, I'm just showing that you got repeat likers. It's not like this unique following of thousands of people gathering. You got Carnsies, 817. He's got 15,000 followers, and you're getting 10 likes on the fire ed movement. This is ridiculous. And then you got our guest today, Papa Mick. He's a good dude. I'm excited he's on the show today. But he was liking everything too. And of course, Troy. I don't know. Things are weird, but 83
Look, I
likes
want to
for a
reach
Fire
out.
Ed tweet.
I think there's some shady stuff going on. I think there's some likes that were taken away. I want to do it. I want to do a forensic audit of Twitter. I think that the free Ed movement is bigger than the Fire Ed movement. And guess what? We're going to take this to court. We're going to do whatever it takes. The people's voice will be heard and will be accounted for. And free Ed.
Wow, Roger, where's your whistle? We need your whistle right now.
We're not going to set a vote tonight. We're going to, right?
I want to talk about this.
I said last week and with Ed that I feel that it's okay that he branches out and makes his own brand, but he violates so many ethics with here within the dog chug, and I think he takes the same. It's the same. He's doing the same character or the same person. You know, I think his personality belongs to the dog chug, and he's taking it over to Barking Browns, and he's the same character on their show, you know, and I think that's belongs to the dog chug.
That was an Ed answer. That was an Ed answer right there.
Listen, I know this is a big joke and everything, but seriously, you're going over there, you're disrespecting the dog jug, which we're supposed to be a team. And when for a team, we have to be unified, which I don't feel we are unified. And that upsets me because we put a lot of work into this thing. You wouldn't believe it by how horrible it is, but we do work very hard. Secondly, you prepared this great little bit where you did this horrible list on the Barking Browns. What did you prepare for this show?
I got this thing on my head.
You put a hat on your...
It's a winner. You got Roger over there with this M, which should be an L, and you got this poisonous nut. So I'm bringing. I don't know what I'm bringing, honestly, guys. Honestly, you know, I mean, free Ed, come get me.
Don't come get me. You should be proud to be a member of the Dog Junk. You should be proud
to be
honestly,
guys, I want to say this, Andy. I'm very proud to be a part of this group. I was taken aback when I was blindsided with Ross, but he's been a great addition. You know, the whole stick of sock in it, you know, it's been fun. And I hope that the vote, when it goes down, I hope that you guys choose to keep me. I really want to be a part of this group. And I got nothing but love for you guys.
I thought about this a lot, and I understand that your feelings were hurt when Ross was on, but you gotta understand, this is a comedy podcast. This is about being funny. We're trying to produce content that makes our audience laugh because that's what we're here to do. That's all we were doing. We're trying to offend you. We weren't trying to say we don't appreciate you. We love what you bring to the show.
I'm a diva. I'm like OBJ. I get my feelings hurt. I felt I wasn't getting enough targets. I wasn't getting enough airtime. I apologize. I hope you guys keep me.
You're getting your paycheck, man. You're still getting your paycheck.
Yeah, and I just feel like you're not being very sincere at all. You're sitting here saying, "Oh, it's because I'm a diva." Well, look, OBJ should owe the fans of Cleveland an apology for what he did. You owe us an apology for what you did.
Which I've apologized. I've apologized.
Well,
I love me some,
apology,
but I love me some.
Okay. Here,
all right, I think we have enough.
I love.
We got a long show today. Let's move on.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say, and then we're going to end this. I need you to think about this long and hard because so far you're not sincerely apologizing. I want you to put some thought into why you're apologizing because it just doesn't seem like you mean it. You just want to be on the show and you want to be on their show. Why don't you think about it, bud? And then maybe we'll have a talk next week and we'll see where we're at. All right. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay. Let's move on.
He's staying at work right now, right? He's not punching out and going home, right?
He's on our show. He's working hard, sort of. So we'll keep going.
All right.
We're going to move on.
I didn't wear this tie for nothing.
Yes. Roger, by the way, did you prepare the 2 beers you're going to chug today? I know Roger's very excited because
I have a whole cooler of beer. I got 2 Christmas ales in there. Well, I got about 6 of them, but 2 of them are designated for my chug.
2 of them ready. No one knows this about Roger because he never really complains or anything, but the dude has to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get to work. And he does this show. Usually we stay on for like another 45 minutes just talking to our guest. We usually don't sign off till like 1 in the morning. And then I don't even know how you do it, But tonight's a really exciting night for you because you don't have to be up early tomorrow. So I know you're going to be able to imbibe a little bit more than usual. Last week at tailgating, we all three of us got to have a great time. Unfortunately, Ed was unable to make it, but Ross and I chugged a Das Boot, and we did a very poor job because it was so cold and the beer was cold. You really got to warm your beer up a little bit. Not warm, but so it's not freezing. So we wanted to give ourselves another chance to do another boot right here on the Dog Chug. And hopefully we can do it a little bit faster. I think we ran out of time. We're only like 130 seconds. So we're going to chug these, and we thought it'd be fun see if Roger can chug 2 Christmas ales in the same amount of time. Now, we have 4 beers in these awkward glasses. Obviously, it's light beer. And
Roger, the rest of the show.
And Roger drink 2 beers faster than we can drink 4 out of a boot. And because we want to give Ed a chance to do something hilarious and really hone into his talent, he's going to commentate so that you're not too bored as we're sitting here chugging for like what might be 5 minutes. So, Ed, are you ready to
Are
take
you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Get ready, gentlemen, to the starting gates. On your marks. Get set. Chug. Look at them go. They're chugging. They're hugging the boots. They're going down. It's free flowing. It's going. You know it. Roger down. The Michigan man says he can do it. But Ross, the Bearcat, looking at that boot, says, I got this. Andy's looking at that boot. He says, it's not as cold as the other one, so let's go, fellas. Let's go. Roger with the look of a winner right there, but he won't be a winner on Saturday.
Are those girls still drinking?
He's got Nick. Oh, this is a close one. This is a photo finish right here. Down the stretch they come. Chug, 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 chug. Andy says that boot's done. Ross says I'm done with that. These boots are made for walking and chugging. Let's go. That there is some chugging, fellas. No losers tonight. Just a bunch of drunks.
Good job, Roger. You kicked their ass. I'm proud of you. Oh my gosh.
Hey, it's some post-game analysis. Ross, how'd that feel, buddy?
I'm very full. It's kind of hard to talk right now.
Yeah.
It helped a lot that it wasn't 30 degrees outside, keeping the beer cold. That was our excuse. We try not to make excuses. You know, like Baker doesn't make excuses for his injuries. We don't like to make excuses for our chugs. But, you know, chugging the Muni lot at 30 degrees outside does not help.
Andy, now you look like you're rubbing your eyes right there, sir. How do you feel after that? Do you feel like you could have done something different? Or do you feel like because you got the win, now second place, so first loser, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like I got to really get the technique down because you got to turn that boot at the perfect time, and I did not succeed in that at all. But I'm a little bit more proud of, I guess, what I did in the Muni lot, but still, I got to get better at that. So.
Well, Nancy Sinatra says, good job, fellas, and those boots are made for chugging.
Was anyone smart enough to time how long it took us all to finish?
No, because that would involve numbers, and we're not going to do that before Thanksgiving.
We are just a terrible, terrible show here.
I thought that was Ed's job. I thought Ed was doing the.
I was commentating. I didn't have Fireball next to me, so I didn't have.
Oh boy!
All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna move on because we got to get this show moving. So let's get Ed and Russ out of here, and we're gonna bring on our featured guest today, a good friend of the show. He is awesome, and excited to meet him. I've never met him before, but the one, the great Papa Mick.
Holy shit. How's it going, everybody? How's it going?
Papa Mick, what's going on, my man?
Not a lot. Just got home a couple hours ago from work, and I've been watching the show. Got a little bit of Nick and Jacob's show, and I'm ready to get going here.
Nice. How did you think of our stupid chugs?
You guys are chuggers. I haven't seen some chugging since I was a young guy, you know. And
I'm
you
not
guys
a
are
young guy.
Andy's like a professional. Ross
Yeah.
is like semi-pro,
Ross is pretty good.
but almost pro. Like he's like AAA. Andy's like almost like all-star material.
You can say it. We're idiots. That's okay. We won't be offended. Anyway, we prepared some questions so our great audience can get to know Mick a little bit better. You're the second Mick to be on our show, by the way, which is pretty awesome.
Nice. The only second Mick you probably know.
I had Roger prepare the questions first, and he wrote a couple of questions that were literally just like, you know, who was the second quarterback in the Romeo Crennel era? Like I'm like, we're not quizzing him. Anyway, we are going to quiz you later.
They work me to the bone here. You don't even know what they make me do. I had so many.
All right. Well, I did keep one of his questions, but anyway, let's begin. We asked this question last week. Last week's great show, the wonderful Ross. Would you accept? I know you're a big Browns fan. How long have you been in love with the Cleveland Browns? Should I ask you this first?
Oh man, since I can remember watching football as a young boy, you know, 8, 9 years old, you know. I'm 55 now. It's almost 50 years.
I was like probably 8 during the Bernie Kosar era, and just too young to really understand it. I wish I could have been more into it then, because it was a treat. Anyway,
the mid 80s with Kosar was a great time around Cleveland. You know, I grew up watching Mike Phipps as a young kid. And I got to go to Brian Stipe. Brian Stipe was a great quarterback on a crappy team. But then I got to go to.
I remember, Mick, I remember my dad and my uncle, my grandfather, they'd watch the Browns. And I remember when Sipe replaced Mike Phipps. And it was like my first recollection of Browns football. And the reaction was that day, like when, you know, when Mayfield came in for Tyrod. You know what I mean? They were excited. And I was just like, what the hell? I got to watch their watcher because they're just pumped up, you know, and that's how I became a Browns fan. And that's my first memory is Sipe replacing Phipps.
Yes, I remember that well.
Yeah. And I'm a couple years younger than you know.
Yeah, I know. Not too many.
Not too many. I just drank 2 7.5 Christmas ales, though. Faster than that.
We're all sorry for scoring a little bit. That has hit me hard right now. But here's the first question: would you accept $10 million right now? You just get $10 million in cash. You're paying taxes or anything like that. But the cost of that $10 million means that you would have the certainty that the Cleveland Browns will never win a championship within your lifetime. Would you take it? Or
For
say no?
$10 million?
$10 million.
Oh yeah.
Me too, man. Fuck.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
All right. So you're not a true fan, obviously.
Yeah,
but what
the Super Bowl's not feeding my kids' bellies. You know what I'm saying?
What if it was $1 million? $1 million. What about that?
Oh yeah.
All right. What if it was $10? Let's see what level.
You look at
$10? No.
$10. Okay. All right. Question 2. There's been endless talk about Baker Mayfield's season and his future with the team. Let's get a little bit more. Let's hear Mick's take on Baker Mayfield.
Oh man. Okay, so when they first drafted Baker, I wasn't real excited. All right. But I have really good friends that live in Oklahoma and they're huge Oklahoma fans.
Okay.
And this kid is a winner. This kid's gonna steal your heart 3 games into the time he plays. And they were absolutely right, you know. His performance this year, it's hard to say because he's been so hurt, you know. Last year, the second half of the season, lights out.
Yeah.
Lights out. This year, been good, been bad. Injuries, it's hard to tell. The whole team's been hurt. A couple guys on the line here and there.
Yep.
We're 6-5. 6 games to go. 4 division games. I think man, I think he should have sat at some period
Absolutely.
of these last few games, especially last week against Detroit. I mean, if you don't have enough confidence in Case Keenum against Detroit Lions, but I understand Baker, and I understand how he is, and I guarantee you he's probably all over Stefanski. You're not going to sit me, da 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 da. And like I seen you guys say before earlier this week, you don't want a quarterback that's going to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm hurt. I should probably sit. You don't want that guy either.
I said, yeah. I don't want that
I
guy.
seen Roger say that, and I totally agree with him. You know what I mean? But the injuries and everything, it's hard to assess this year, But
at some point, though, you have to realize, like if it just happened, okay, I can play, and then there's so much evidence that you can't play. You got to be realistic. But anyway, let me ask you this: if let's say he doesn't turn the season around, and we end up 8-8 or 9-8, sorry, miss the playoffs. Will you be excited to see him next season, or would you want the Browns to start considering their options?
I mean, you might have to consider other options, obviously, for the future. But man,
you endorse.
I hate change, and I've seen nothing but change since '99. You know what I mean? And it's old. It's old. I'm getting old. My stepdad's 80 years old. I want him to see a Super Bowl championship so bad. So
is that going to happen?
$7 million is on the line.
Well, if I gave him $5 million, he would be cool with no Super Bowl. I'd have to split it with him.
All right. I think we have one last question. It's a weird one. This was created from the mind of Roger, or maybe he found it somewhere, but the size of a yawn of a human or any other animal. Wait, size of a yawn of a human or any other animal depends on the size of question. What?
Of what?
The size of their yawn
depends on the size of what? What determines the size of either a person or an animal's yawn?
Their yawn, their fist.
Okay, that's a great answer. Let's move on. That's Corbin, Roger. Never ask me to produce again.
So I'm half away through this box.
The reason it's your brain determines the size of your yawn. And coincidentally, there's a lot of Browns fans on Twitter that don't yawn at all.
I was just gonna say I don't usually yawn too much.
Okay. By the way, I'm going to yawn, so I seem more intelligent. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our favorite segment, Spit, Sip, Chug, which essentially is I'm going to read a statement, and if you strongly agree, you're going to say you chug on that statement and explain why. If you're tepid, you're going to say you sip, and if you strongly disagree, you're going to say you spit. So, first question.
I had a girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, that used to strongly disagree.
Hey, there's kids watching.
Sorry.
Ex-girlfriend,
I know my kids are probably watching.
You said you're no good. You should have hung on her. She sounded like a queen. Anyway, first question: if the Browns lose Sunday, they can still make the playoffs. We're going to start with you, Mick.
I think I'm going to sip on that one. I'm not. I almost have to spit.
Okay, so you're not sure if you're spitting or spitting.
If we lose Sunday, you're saying?
Yes, we lose to Baltimore on Sunday.
If we lose to Baltimore on Sunday, I'm spitting. We're not making the playoffs. I don't think.
Roger,
I'm going to sip on it, and because I think 10-7 is going to be good enough in the AFC to get you a wild card, and we can afford 2 losses. And in the beginning of the year, I had the Packers and one of these games as a loss, And
Me
I
too,
think it still
me too.
holds true. And I think it's because of the rest of the AFC and what's happening in the AFC. And the only thing that's really going to are the tiebreakers. Like, we got to be – the Raiders is a huge game. The Raiders going to be a huge game. So
Yes.
I'm going to sip on that.
Yes. Yeah, Raiders
All
will
right.
be a huge game.
I am going to – I'm just going to choke because you know what? It's not over until you're eliminated. There have
I know.
been so many times a team has
You're right. You're right.
Didn't a Jets coach once say like we can't get to the playoffs like mathematically, and then he was wrong and they did or something? I don't know. Let's bring it on. He knows this kind of dumb shit. Hey, was there ever wasn't it Rex Ryan?
Yes, it was Rex. Right, you are talking about the Jets. I forget exactly what year, but you are dead on with that, Andy.
He said we came in the playoffs, and then they did, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed.
We don't let them – we just bring them in, get what we need out of them, and we send them back to the green room. We don't know.
Right. Question number 2. Dolphins wrote the playbook on how to attack Lamar Jackson. Browns can do the same thing this Sunday. Roger, we're going to start with you.
They've been writing that blueprint on Lamar Jackson since he came into the league. The question is, can you do it? Teams know what to do against him. But the question is, can you do it? They have an elite tight end and they have an elite field goal kicker. If you keep this game within one-score game going into the fourth quarter, they have the potential to beat. I want to chug on this. If Joe Woods is making me want to snip, but I'm going to chug on it and say, yeah, I think that the Browns, because we have more talent than the Miami Dolphins do on defense. That's why I'm going to chug on it.
All right. Well, I'm going to completely disagree with you and be more like Mick's ex-girlfriend. I'm spitting because I have seen no evidence that the Browns can adapt to their game plan to who they're playing, which is a criticism I'm having of our defensive coordinator. I think they're just going to do the same thing they do every week, which is give up big third downs. So I am spitting. We're not going to be able to slow down the Ravens that much. We're going to have an offensive game to win. Spit. All right. Now
I'm going with Roger. I'm going to chug on that one.
Chugging. I like being outnumbered.
I'm going to chug on that one. I'm going to chug. I like our chances. Especially we got Kareem Hunt back. We got Nick Chubb back. We got Conklin back.
This is a question about the defense. What are you talking about?
I don't care about the defense right now. Okay,
Hey, Pop Mick, did Dan show up at your house before we started taping this? Is fucking Dan there? Dan and his whore mouth are there, aren't they? They got you drunk before you came on our show.
No. You know, Roger, I was going to take a nap. I was going to take a power nap because I didn't want to end up like Kyle. I made sure I paid my light bill. I didn't want to end up like Dan. But I got off work a little too early today. I cracked that bottle of Bailey's a little too early.
Nice.
I should have waited.
Oh,
I wanted to be loose. I wanted to be loose for the show, and now I'm like,
you're doing awesome.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic.
You're doing a great job, man.
You answer the question. All right, we're gonna move on to the final question of spit, sip, chug. The Browns might not be playing up to their talent, but they do have an elite roster. And I'm going to start this one, and I'm going to spit on this one too.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to argue the Browns have an elite roster when they are not just putting it together. I don't know this team, but they're right now they need better execution. They also need balance on some level. So I'm spitting. Mick.
I'm spitting. I'm spitting on that one too. A great team on paper, but we haven't really shown. The defense has come around a couple times, but against the Bears and the Lions and the Tigers, you know what I'm saying? I mean, against Kansas City and San Diego or the Chargers, and the defense was like non-existent, Joe Woods. I hate to put all the blame on Joe Woods.
I don't.
I mean, I don't either, but the players got to be held accountable too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it kind of goes both ways with me. But the way it's going this year, I mean, I don't think Joe Woods is going to be around much longer. I don't. If he finishes the season, you know that's iffy. But I think with this much talent on paper, we need to perform a lot better than what we're performing.
Okay. Before Roger, we go to you. Ed made some comment. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Look at that ad.
I love
You
that.
know what?
I need that.
All I was saying is the Ravens were named after Edgar Allan Poe. So I'm going to quote the Raven. The Browns win. And who the hell is Lenore? Nevermore.
The Ravens are our babies. We are their daddies.
We're literally just, doing this dumb segment of the show, and he's just typing in crazy puns into the chat like constantly. I'm like, what are you? Ed, you're amazing. Roger.
I'm spitting on this. We got, what is there, 53 men on the roster? I count 5 elite football players. Nick Chubb, 2 guards on offense, Myles Garrett, and I'm going to say Denzel Ward when he's healthy. He's an elite cornerback. That's 5 out of 53. I think that's a fairy tale that was constructed around 2 aging wide receivers that made this offense all of a sudden Super Bowl bound. And I think that's where that came from, because on paper, and if it was 2016, 2014, we'd probably have been fucking elite wide receivers. Yeah, I'm spitting on that. The Browns do not have an elite roster. They have a young, talented roster with a lot of players like Njoku, DPJ, and those guys that have the potential to become elite players. JOK, Koromo. Those guys can become elite players, but they're not today. So I'm going to spit on that.
We all agree that the Browns do not have an elite roster, but I think we all agree that the young guys are playing out. We'll just continue to get better. I think long term, this team is in fantastic shape. Short term is kind of what we're going to find out on Sunday. So that concludes another fantastic edition of Spits and Jug.
We're knocking them out, Andy. We're doing pretty good on time.
We're trying to get things moving.
Hey, I want to tell you, I don't have to work tomorrow. If you've kept me up to like 2 a.m. when I had to go put 6-inch cast iron fucking roof drains in and leave my house to be in Norwalk, Ohio we're running 2.5 hours tonight. We're drinking beer. We're getting fucked up. Fuck it.
Fair enough, but I have so many of my friends that are like, as soon as
I don't have to work tomorrow.
Nobody's working tomorrow.
Load up.
Little bit in the kitchen.
You let Ross. Your schedule's out the fucking window. We're staying. We're going 24.
So many of my friends though have pointed out that like when they load up the stream and they see that it's like 2 hours 20 minutes, they're just like, oh fuck this, and they just close it immediately. So trying to deliver a tighter show so that maybe a couple of people that I like they literally watch because they know me will actually do so. Anyway, we're gonna move on to this is fantastic. I'm so excited about this, and unfortunately, Roger made another elite phone call. Like the Browns roster is not playing elite, but Roger was. When did you make that call on Monday?
Monday night, I made that call. Yeah,
he made just a phenomenal phone call, and I edited the whole thing to tighten it up. I think I took it from like 7.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes, and it was hilarious. I played it for my wife; she thought it was hilarious. Unfortunately, I didn't save it, and my computer has some technical issues. I'm going to get this corrected. Anyway, my computer restarted, did not lost the file that I edited. So we're going to have to play the entire call. Fortunately, like Roger said, we've been tight on time, so you're going to hear a couple more ums than I would like, but this is going to be fun. So just give me 1 minute.
Hey Mick, I go at this thing, and my goal was to start talk. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So this is Roger calling a Baltimore hotel to try and schedule a room on Monday, like a couple days before Thanksgiving
Holidays.
Yeah, and everything else going on. This is amazing, and proceeds to get into a fight with this poor woman. So with that being said, here we go.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to check on the availability and the pricing for a 4-day stay. I'm really having a heck of a time finding accommodations. I'm a little late planning this trip that we're going to take here, and it just seems impossible for me to find a room.
Let's see if we can help, sir. When do you plan on visiting Baltimore?
Well, that'll be Wednesday, November 24th through Sunday, the 28th, this weekend. I'm bringing my whole family at 6 to have Thanksgiving with some relatives, kind of a spur of the moment thing. Time was freed up in that. And
I'm sorry, sir. We are booked solid for those dates.
oh man, it seems like the entire city of Baltimore is booked solid. I get that it's a holiday, but I saw a promotion for a holiday bazaar at your Belvedere Square, and that looked close to your hotel. That's probably why. That's probably a big event.
Yes, sir. Thanksgiving's a big holiday. The holiday bazaar is also a large event, but there's a football game this Sunday. We've been booked solid for this coming weekend for months.
Oh, I see. Geez, I'm not that much of a sports fan. I had no idea. I don't pay attention. I was involved in an intramural bowling league in college, and that was a hoot. But that's the extent of my sport experience. But I get it. I understand this time of year, college football takes over everything.
No, sir. It's for professional football, the NFL. It's the Baltimore Ravens game.
Ooh, professional football. Well, no wonder I can't find a room. Well, I'm just curious now that I know why I can't find a room. What's going on is who are your Baltimore Raiders? Who are they playing in this contest? I'm just curious.
The Ravens, Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, I'm sorry, of course, the Ravens. So who are they playing? Who's in this contest?
The Cleveland Browns, sir.
Oh, now I know the Cleveland Browns. Wow, your team's going to be playing the Browns. It's the Ravens. The Ravens. You're playing the Cleveland Browns. See, that's a team I'm familiar with, only because I work with a guy who's from Oklahoma, and he's a huge fan of their young player, Baker Mayfield. And so now he's a Browns fan, and he tells me all about these games, and I listen, but I don't know what he's talking about most of the time. But I'll tell you, all he talks about is this Baker Mayfield guy, and he said he's just everything I get from him. That he's just this gritty football player, and there's no quitting him. But yeah, I know the Browns and Baker Mayfield, but that's the extent. I don't know anything else about professional football.
He's not even that good. We beat him every time we play Cleveland.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get it. He plays for another team, and you're a big Raiders fan.
The Ravens, sir. And yes, I'm a huge Ravens fan. I have season tickets.
Season ticket? You're a season ticket holder?
Yes, sir.
That must be exciting. It's a big, man, sports game. So, all right, Dave, who's your star? Do you have a star player?
We have Lamar Jackson.
Lamar who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of Lamar who.
Lamar Jackson, MVP quarterback, the best quarterback in football.
Really? MVP and the best quarterback in football. That's awesome. You know what? Having the MVP, it must be so much fun winning all those championships and having an MVP player. That's.
Yes, sir. He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, but he's going to. He will. He's that good.
Wow. He's never won a championship at MVP. That's odd. You know what, though? Stay positive. Sports probably crazy. It probably changes all the time. You know what, though? Have you ever seen, I see those commercials for Progressive. Those are great. He lives inside the football stadium. It's so funny.
Andy, no volume.
I'm sorry?
Lamar Jackson, sir. Again, I'm afraid we're booked solid for the weekend.
You don't think that? So you think you're going to win this game? You're not. You don't think you're a little overconfident?
No, not at all. The last team we ever worry about is the Cleveland Browns.
Well, I think you'd be very worried because they have an elite running back, from what I hear.
We're not worried at all, sir. I don't have time for this.
I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. I don't know anything. I'm sorry I wasted your time. You know what you should do is you should save up all your spare time, save it up, and then need it late Sunday night when you're staring at that field from your seats in that miserable stadium yours, and you're wondering how the Cleveland Browns just kicked your teeth in.
Idiot.
Go Browns.
Whoa. I think I fucked up in the middle of that. I muted my mic, which I think made it so no one heard a portion of that call. I like I said, we're truly horrible at this. My God. Nick, your impression of that call, because I was crying.
That was awesome. I think what'd she say at the end? She said you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
She wasn't wrong.
That's what I was gonna say. That's
I
about
hung up.
that's the only thing in the whole conversation. She said that was right.
I would have hung up on me a long time ago. I kept saying I was calling all weekend and like just getting a feel. And what I wanted to do was kind of incorporate how like they stole the Browns, blah blah. But I found out like everything's booked solid in Baltimore. I'm like, I got to rewrite. I got to figure something out. And what I needed was a Baltimore fan. I needed somebody to answer. I had one guy that wanted to put me on hold to get me a room 30 miles outside the city. He wasn't biting. We'll put it up on YouTube and it'll have the whole audio.
So first of all, I fucked up editing the video. Then I fucked up playing the video. Ross had a great line.
Which line?
Your line that you posted into the private chat.
Oh yeah. So Andy's a real estate agent, and I'm looking to sell my house in a couple of years. With that fuck up, I don't know if I'm going to hire him as my agent. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably a good idea. But I am a considerably better real estate agent than I am I don't know. Dealing with all this. Anyway, we're gonna get better at the dog chug. And Ross, I am gonna sell your house for way more than it's worth.
Nice.
Anyway, okay. So give me 1 minute. That was Roger. That was so good. I cannot wait to see what you come up with next.
I was pissing her off by I kept calling them Lamar Johnson and kept calling them the Raiders.
The Raiders. She didn't like the
Baltimore Raiders. She didn't like that. I called them the part that you didn't hear. I was calling them Lamar Johnson, and she was getting pissed.
She wasn't as good a sport as the girl last week. That's for sure.
I could have kept her on for another 10 minutes if I wanted to, but I was like, Andy's going to edit it anyway down to 3 minutes.
That was perfect. I'm going to edit it down 3 minutes and then forget to save. All right. Now we're going to move on to our favorite bit that we do here. Say that for every bit, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention. My daughter is 3, and we had a theory that she could pick games better than I could. So she picked 3 games tonight, and we're going to give me and Roger the chance to bet, to pick those games against spread, and we're also going to let Mick do the same. He'll represent the fans. We all went 1-2 last week. So the new scoring is fans are in the lead at 16. You should be betting with the fans, kind of. I think 16 is probably losing money, but not that much money. Roger and Krista are tied at 12. And then I am way behind at 8 games correctly picked out of like 57 or something. So this is just not good at all. Doing terrible. So first game that
But your chugging is on point though.
yeah, I can chug much better than I can gamble. All right. The first game that Krista picked is big Steelers at the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Cincinnati Bengals are actually favored, which, is kind of surprising because when have you seen the Bengals play the Steelers? They're favored. They are actually giving 4.5 points to the Steelers. So, Mick, we're going to start with you.
It's at Cincinnati. 4.5 points for the Steelers. I want to take the Steelers. It's going to be a close game. Cincinnati already beat them once. I don't see them beating them twice.
Roger?
I feel the same way. Cincinnati should beat the brakes off them, but it's a division game, and I'm going to take the 4.5 points.
Yep.
It's going to be a field goal game.
Yep.
I'll take the Steelers.
All right. Well, I can never take the Steelers because they're terrible, except when they're playing the Bengals.
You don't bet with your heart. You can't bet with your heart, Andy.
Yeah, you stepped on the line here. Except when they're playing the Bengals because the Bengals are more terrible. So I also pick the Steelers. Krista is the lone person that took the Bengals.
I hope
Well, she's going to win. We're all wrong.
I hope she's
We
right.
already know that.
Yeah. I'd be cool with that.
She's right. The next is Ed just real quick. Like once we get past the hour, I stop caring about trying to pack the show. What'd you have to say about my pick, Ed?
Well, Mick said, betting with your heart. It's okay for Andy. Andy doesn't have a heart.
I am a robot. Okay, next game is this is a terrible game. Right, Krista somehow knows how to pick the worst games on the schedule. We literally have like a whole system designed where she comes up with like a number, and then whatever number we have associated all the games. It takes an insane amount of time. My wife does it, but she picks the Jets at the Houston Texans. The horrible Houston Texans are giving 2.5 points to the New York Jets. Roger, we'll start with you.
I'm going to take the Jets and give the Texans 2.5 points.
All right.
Tyrod Taylor doesn't impress me.
So I like Salah as coach. I think over time he'll turn that team into a solid team if he has the time. Meanwhile, the Texans are hot garbage. They're going nowhere. So I'll take the Jets and I'll take the points.
Yeah.
Mick?
The Texans are giving the points or getting the points?
They're giving.
They're giving 2.
Giving 2.5?
Yep.
To the Jets. It's at Houston.
It's at Houston.
I'll take Houston. They beat up on the Titans pretty good last week. I think I'm going to route to Houston.
That was
They look good against the Titans. I was watching the Titans game. My son's a Titans fan, so we were watching the game last week. Actually, during the Browns game, and they beat up on the Titans pretty good last week. So I'm going to go with the Texans.
All right. Krista agreed with you on that one. She's also going with the Texans.
Atta girl.
And finally, we have this is awesome. She picks our team, the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are currently giving 3.5 points.
Hold on, the bartender's serving Mick. Let the bartender get done.
Sorry.
I love how you pour right in front of the camera.
It was a long, short week.
It really fits in great with the dog chug. Like most people pour over here, like they don't want whatever. I love it.
I have no pride. No pride.
So Ed pointed out that I have no heart. If the Browns win this game, we're in the driver's seat, and we can celebrate for 2 weeks, turning this miserable season around. But we can't have nice things in Cleveland, so I'm taking the Ravens. But fortunately, I suck at this so bad, I just pretty much assured the Browns are going to win. Nick?
Oh, man. I know I'm not supposed to bet with my heart, but
He's going Browns. All right,
I'm
Roger.
going Browns. I'm going Browns Sunday night. I'm
Love
going
it.
Browns Sunday night under the lights. I just remember playing them last year, Monday night. It ended up being a great game. We could have won that game, and this game's going to come right down the end again. But this time we're going to pull the motherfucker out. So Browns.
Love it, Roger.
I'm betting with my heart, though. Sorry.
Do it. That was that hard. I wish I had one.
I'd never bet against the Browns to take the Ravens. I don't care if they're I'm taking the Browns. Plus, this poor girl at the hotel, I already told her she's going to be crying in her fucking box seat. I'm taking the Browns.
It'd be tough for you to pick the Ravens after that phone call.
Roger, if the Browns somehow win that game, can you please call her back and just rub it in?
I will.
That would be awesome.
I'll keep calling until she answers the fucking phone. Her name was Kat. What was her name? Catherine, I think, in the beginning of the call. I got the beginning of it. I'm calling her back.
We don't need to worry about
can I speak to Catherine, please?
Remember me? You got it. If we win next week, I will. Even if she says "fuck you" and hangs up on me, I'm calling her back.
All right. Phenomenal edition of can we the NFL Pick'em. Now we're gonna play our game, and we have a fun one prepared. Actually, it's kind of an easy one because usually our games are all about nonsense that you have no clue what's gonna happen. It's like one of our friends, what will he say? You don't know him. We're actually gonna ask you questions about the Browns. You know the Browns. You watch the Browns, you tweet about the Browns, you love the Browns. So we're going to give you true and false. Statements about the Browns. And all you have to do is say that's a true statement or that's a false statement. And I will say that if it's false, we're not even close. It's not like we are going to say like Browns are 12th in rushing and we're 13th in rushing. So it should be pretty easy. We're going to ask you 7 questions. You got to get 4 of them right and you win. And obviously, as a true fan of the show, you know this, but for the people at home, if you win, you get to come to the Cincinnati Bengals game with me and Roger. And if you don't want to sit with us, why would you? We'll auction the ticket off, and as much cash as we can get, we're going to send you 100%. And it might even be enough that you decide, I don't care if the Browns win a championship in your lifetime.
That's going to be a big game. That's turned out to be, I think Andy can sell those 3 seats, and well, Andy, why don't we sell those seats?
We're not selling 3 seats. We're going to sell 1 seat, and the person that buys the seat gets the honor of coming to the game with us.
No, I'm saying, why don't we sell all 3 of them and we go somewhere warm and drink like fucking kings and eat steak, because that's going to be that big of a game that those tickets are going to get. So much.
I'll tell you what, because you 2 could go and I could go in a plastic bubble because COVID, I'm not allowed to leave the house. So lucky I get to go to the games that are outside. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to ask you a statement. I'm going to tell you a statement. You tell me if it's true or false. Got it? Pretty simple.
Yep.
Browns are 10th in the league in yards per passing attempt. Is that true or false?
10th in the league in passing attempts. Wow. I want to say that's false.
All right,
I'm going to say false.
Final answer. All right. It actually is true. The Browns have 7.6 yards per pass, which is good for 10th in the league.
Wow.
At this point, Mick, you're just better off saying,
hey, it's cold out. It's cold out anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Let's ask you a question, because you're not doing very well. Do you have a remote in the house that you can flip?
You're 50-50.
All right. Here we
Wait,
go.
let me grab a quarter.
Oh, you have a quarter. Wow. Colin, whatever. Here we go. Question number 2. The Browns defense is 4th in the league in total sacks. Is that true? Or
Sacks?
Yeah.
God damn, man. That's one thing I don't. Where's Ed when you need him?
Right, Jacob.
I'm gonna say.
Do you want to phone a friend?
4th in total sacks.
Do you want to phone a friend?
That's false. I'm going to say false again.
Do you want me to phone a friend and let Ed come on and advise you on this one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I would
yeah.
text Jacob and the Barking Browns. And I would bring the professionals
Hey,
in.
but
That's
I
what
love
I would do.
I'm going to go. I'm going to try Ed, though. Ed's got my back.
Barnes, you're going to go with Ed?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ed.
Good luck.
Ed is Stat from Columbus.
Nick is trying to decide if the Cleveland Browns have the 4th highest number of sacks. What say you?
Yes.
Yes, they do.
All right. He said yes. Nick, are you going to?
I'm going to go with Ed. I can't call him out and not go with him. So I'm going to say true.
Yeah. It's not like you can say, hey, I'm going to go bring Ed in. And then he says yes. You're like, yeah, fuck Ed.
That was, no. You shouldn't have had Ed come on because you actually had it right. And then.
Wait, what if I go? What if I go 0 for 7? Has anybody gone 0 for 7?
Colin pretty much went over.
Mick in Australia. Poor Mick in Australia did brutal, man. And we gave him softballs.
Right,
I felt so bad. I think Andy wanted him to. He's like, he's in Australia. He can't come to the fucking game anyway.
The good news, though, is I was actually lying. The Browns are 4th in total sacks, so you actually got that one right. So you're 1-1. I just love any opportunity to make Ed look
Ed.
1-1. You got to get 3 more right. Here we go.
Fuck's sake.
Okay. Question number 3. The Browns offense has the 14th most sacks allowed this season.
Oh, man. He's been sacked a lot. I'm going to have to say false on that one.
And you are correct. They've actually been sacked 31 times, which makes them 5th in the league.
Yeah. He might, maybe after like the first few games, he might have been that low. But yeah, after the last 5 games, yeah.
He's got a fucking torn labrum. He's got a busted knee. He's got a busted ankle. Now the hip. Yeah.
It's like 99 all over again. Tim Couch, I feel so bad for the guy. At least Baker's got a healthy offensive line that he can play behind, when he is hurt.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right.
Number 4, you're doing very well.
All right.
The Browns defense is 2nd last in opponent 3rd down conversion percentage.
Oh, yeah. True. True.
All right. Well, you're 2-2 now because they're actually 9th worst at 43%. They are 9th worst.
I knew they sucked.
That is a tricky one because I would have thought that was true as well.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Okay, we have 3 left. You got to get 2 right. This is going to be super easy. The Browns are 1st in the league in rushing touchdowns.
True.
That is true. They've got 17, which is tied for 1st. So
they're tied now?
They're tied. Yeah. I think the who's a terrible running team? I don't know. I bet the Ravens don't have. Oh, let's see. Hey, how many rushing touchdowns do the Ravens have?
I don't know. I'll go look it up. I unlike that lady who thinks everybody loves the Ravens that Roger called, I don't like the Raiders or the Ravens. I'll look it up and be right back.
Okay. All right. So basically, you just got to split the next 2. So you can just say true to both or false at both, and you have a pretty good chance of winning. This is awesome. Anyway, Browns offense leads the league in going for it on 4th down. So the number of times they've attempted a fourth down play. Do they lead the league?
I'll say true.
That
Yeah,
is
true.
actually false. False. It's false. The Washington
Really?
football team and the horrible Detroit Lions have gone for a more, which is interesting because you think of the Lions of having an old school coach, but they go for it a lot on fourth down.
I knew the Lions were up there, but never thought the Washington Redskins.
That's because no one
football
pays
team
attention to what they're doing. All right.
So I got to get this one right.
Gotta get the last one right. And I know you're going to do it. Okay. All right. The Browns defense is 4th in the league in yards allowed per game.
4th in the league. I'll say false.
Ted, do you want to think? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, you
I'm
want to think
thinking. Not much of a thinking.
Let's see what Ed thinks. Ed,
what do you want to call somebody on that?
12 rushing. I don't know. 12 rushing TD.
Call a friend.
TD.
Call Ed.
Hey, what's up? I don't know what the question was, but I know it's 12 TDs rushing for the Ravens this year. And what's the question?
That's pathetic. All right, Browns.
Are you off the clock?
I might be.
Staff for us. Browns defense is 4th in the league in yards allowed per game. Is that true or false?
I'm gonna say false.
Right. Do you read the itinerary?
No.
Do you have documents?
All right, that actually is true. They are 4th in the league, so now we got to find a way. You got that quarter.
We do. Let me do. I'm gonna get the remote back. Let me get the remote. Let me 1 second. Let me get the remote.
All right, flip that quarter, and if you can call it right, you win.
I got to flip a quarter.
I mean,
yeah. Hey, do we have Ed on the documents thing? Is he able to? Whoa.
Oh wait, I get to flip my own quarter and call it.
Yeah.
We're hey.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Wait, we're gonna have Ed.
I just thought about this for a second. Hold on.
Here. We'll have Ed.
Wait, I'm
we did
probably
this for
still gonna get it wrong.
We did this for Colin. We're gonna go with the Spectrum remote. Are you gonna go buttons or batteries? Buttons or batteries?
Man, it looks just like my remote. Tape on the bag.
Oh yeah. So call it while it's in the air, Papa Mick. Buttons or batteries? Here we go. Here's the official clip.
Buttons.
It's buttons.
Yeah, you did it. You're in. That's
All
awesome.
right.
Well, we got rid of another stupid game, and now, look, let's have a little bit of fun here. Let's see what everyone is. It's a big holiday, and I watched the Barking Browns. What is everyone thankful for? Because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Nick, we'll start with you.
Ooh, man, at my age, I'm thankful for my health. Thankful for my kids, my grandkids, my family. Thankful for one day off tomorrow. I got to go back to work Friday, Saturday. You know what? I'll tell you what I'm thankful for, because I see a lot of people complaining about Miles getting held every game all year long. I'm thankful that Myles Garrett still gets to play football, because after he did what he did to what's his name there, Rudolph there, if somebody did that to our quarterback, we'd be calling for his head. So I'm thankful that Myles Garrett still gets to play in the NFL. That's what I'm thankful for.
All right. Ross, what are you thankful for? Oh, you might be muted. Production quality of this show. I blame Ed.
You should.
We'll come back to Ross. Roger, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
You know, family aside, and my boys and my wife and my daughter and my family and all that aside, I'm truly thankful for you guys,
Hey.
all of you, the Dog Chug, everybody in the dog chat, from the Barking Browns and Nick Carnes and Jacob Roach, Troy and Whoremouth and Elfman and I know I'm going to forget people and Jessica, you know, who sent us beer and cookies that I didn't get. Fucking cookie right
Ross
now.
had
I'm dipping
cookies.
I'm dipping Keebler in milk the other day, and I'm like fucking motherfucking Ross every time I dip a
Ross has
Keebler.
got socks. Ross has got cookies.
I'm
By
thankful
the way,
for all of you because
let
you
me just-
revived a Browns fandom inside me that when I used to go in my 20s to tailgate, you know, and I was standing on Public Square in 1986 in a blizzard, and they had a rally on Public Square. You revived that, and that's what I'm thankful for. And then, of course, family and that. So,
Do you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, what I'm thankful for is just
the cookies.
I have my Bearcats in the top 4 playoffs.
Woo!
The Browns are still in playoff contention. We got Papa Mick here. Thanksgiving weekend. I got a 4-day weekend. It's gonna be a good time.
Papa Nick.
Do you want to swallow those cookies and I'll come back to you?
They're delicious. I prioritize eating over anything.
You suck.
All right. There we go. All right. I am just going to quickly say I'm thankful for just this special group of people. I know only because of Nick Carnes' ability to kind of bring us all together is the only reason we're doing this stupid show.
Nick Carnes.
And it's so
Jacob.
awesome. All
Nick
of you.
Carnes.
Jessica literally sent
Jacob.
us beer and cookies, which, by the way, this didn't get explained very well, but a good friend of the show, Jessica, sent us beer and cookies, and Ross gave us the beer, but he forgot at tailgate. He's like, "Oh, I forgot the cookies." So he's just been
Right.
tremendous when he had us moment to kind of rub it in that, you guys are getting your cookies. What a dick. I think Ed, right now you're sort of like catching up to Ross.
I better not see a fire Ross move.
I know I was left out, but I want to say that I'm thankful that Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the team up north, and I'm also thankful for Fireball, and I'm also thankful to the Barking Browns because they came and got me. But I'm also thankful, and I love you guys, the Dog Chug. I know we have our thing. I hope you vote to keep me, and I'm thankful for the democracy that we practice on this show. So USA, love you guys.
Wow.
Say hello to Kelly, and happy Thanksgiving to Kelly.
Absolutely. Thank you, Roger.
By the
Go
way,
Blow.
is Kelly around? Is she right? Is she next to you?
She's downstairs on the phone, so she's taking calls from like OSU boosters and stuff like that. We got something going on here. Yeah,
All
that's how
right,
we get
well-
the players in. That's how we get the players.
That's how they feed the family over there.
That's right.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I used to
Happy
love
Thanksgiving.
going to the bar, and now we're doing an awesome podcast during quarantine, which most people aren't quarantining anymore because it's silly that we have to. But anyway, let's all do a little chug, and if we do a chug good enough, I really think it's going to help the Browns on Sunday. So let's go. Ed, you got something?
I got something. Yes, I do.
You got Mountain Dew?
It's an
That's the
alcoholic.
drink of Buckeye fans.
This stuff will
Mountain
kill you
Dew.
quicker than anything. Let's go. Let's
Wait.
chug.
You're
Okay,
literally
Billy.
3 milligrams of caffeine right there.
What are you drinking right now before we do this?
Hey, go Browns.
Dude.
Go Browns.
You actually get an alcoholic drink, por favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get me a shot of Fireball. Watch this. I'm bringing Fireball.
See if you got a beer in your purse, Ed.
It's a merce, not a purse.
Kelly's
It's
a merch.
gonna fucking
Yeah.
show up. It's not gonna be him.
Ellis got a purse.
It's gonna be Kelly. It's not gonna be him.
They're probably matching him and his wife.
Hey, did he have to run over to the Barking Browns and get somebody a coffee or something? Oh, there he is.
Hey.
What are you going to chug it right from the bottle, or are you going to pour it in something?
No, I'm just gonna drink it from here.
I'm gonna call.
All right,
let's call Ed's a nut job. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Hold it up so I can see the bottle. Like, hold up the
Oh.
bottle. So,
Oh,
hold it close
Nice.
to the camera. What are you doing? Hold the. Okay. No, on the other way. Move it closer to the camera. So right now you're about to the bottom of the cinnamon whiskey. Font. So when you're done, let's see how far it is.
I'm
Down.
gonna chug the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
chug it all, Ed.
Yeah.
Wait. Hey,
And
Ed, your wife did it.
Well,
For Papa Mick.
okay, so
Papa
to
Mick.
the Browns.
Oh,
Sunday,
just
let's all
saying.
do a nice thing.
Dog chug.
This is the episode.
Dog chug.
Thank you so
Dog
much
chug,
for coming
baby.
on. Ross and Ed, I love you guys, even though I'm kind of a dickhead. And
Anytime.
Roger, it's been the dream. So fun that we got to hang out at Tailgate again. Tailgate for the first time. Let's go. Let's chug. Let's go Browns.
Go Browns.
Whoa, he did it. Whoa, chug.